Recording in progress.
Veterans Day. In the United States, it's a national holiday, November 11th. The purpose of the holiday is for honoring veterans of the armed forces and those killed in countries' wars. The observance began in 1919 on the first anniversary of the 1918 armistice that ended World War I. In 1921, there was a burial of an unknown soldier from World War I, Arlington National Cemetery in Arlington, Virginia. Other countries that had lost soldiers in the war, such as Italy and Portugal, and conducted similar ceremonies that year. The previous year, unknown soldiers had been interred at Westminster Abbey in London, England, and at the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. When did November 11th become the official holiday? It became official in 1938. Until 1954, the holiday was called Armistice Day. And in 1954, the name got changed to Veterans Day. I know it was hard for some of us. We continued calling it Armistice Day for a few years until we got the hang of calling it by Veterans Day. But we celebrate the day now to honor all those who've served in the U.S. war, in all U.S. wars. Not just the ones who have given their lives, but everybody that has served. Even those that didn't serve in a war, if they're a veteran, we honor them. Every year there are ceremonies at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and there are floral tributes placed on graves of servicemen and women all around the world, all around the United States. I don't know about the world, but all around the United States. And I know in our communities, there are also flags on the graves of those that were veterans. And our streets are lined on November 11th with flags in honor of all veterans, dead or alive. And in some places, naturalization ceremonies have come to be an important part of the day's activities. The United States isn't the only country that celebrate Veterans Day on November 11th. Britain, Canada, Australia, and France also observe November 11th in honor of veterans of World Wars I and II. And in Britain, the second Sunday in November is also observed as Remembrance Day. And in Canada, November 11th is observed as Remembrance Day. In Britain and the Commonwealth countries of Britain and in countries of Europe, it is common to observe 2 minutes of silence at 11 a.m. on November 11th, the 11th month, the 11th day, the 11th hour. That was the time and date of the World War I armistice in 1918. Interestingly enough, little red poppies have long been associated with World War I memorials. And there's a poem called In Flanders Fields by John McCrae. Let me see if I can find it here. I'm looking on my phone to see if I can find that poem and read it for you. I am not seeing it. I'm reading lots of information about the poem, but I wanted to read, here it is, the poem itself. Here it is. In Flanders fields, the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky, the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, and were loved. Now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you, from failing hands we throw the torch, be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields. I think it's very important. I know lots of communities have parade on Veterans Day, and a lot of schools in our communities nearby have fairly substantial Veterans Day assemblies where they invite veterans to come in and be honored, and some of them give wonderful speeches, tell stories about when they were deployed, and they're usually honored with free breakfast or free lunch, whatever time of day the ceremony is. I know one of the schools that I taught at when I was still teaching, every year the ceremony got bigger and bigger and more wonderful. And I noticed in the paper, or actually I saw it on Facebook, this year was no exception. They had a ceremony, of course, not on November 11th, because this year that's on a Saturday, but a few days preceding November 11th. I think they might have had it on the 10th or the 9th, one or the other. So as you go about your day on November 11th, remember those that gave their lives for our freedoms, and those that fought hard. Some of them lost limbs, some of them have PTSD. Veterans, some of them, they're all proud to have served. One of my brothers served, and he didn't die, he's still alive. But he's proud to be a veteran, as are most veterans, proud to have served their country, proud to have helped to keep our freedoms free. Because freedom really isn't free. Someone has to pay for it. And our veterans are the ones who have paid dearly. Some of them completely. So honor them this Veterans Day. This is Darlene from Darlene's Garden, praying that God's love and blessings surround you. And if you're a veteran, thank you for your service.